Perfect. Everybody, it's Spirits team here. Myself, Mike Glover, Kirk Reed, Cheryl Boyd, and Jason Walton. We're going to kind of walk you through. We've got about 15 minutes, so we're going to touch base on the Core 7 Spirits items, and then we'll go on to beer and some other stuff. Pretty excited to be doing this. I know normally we just send you guys an email and say, hey, run with it. So this is going to be done at the beginning of every court period. It's time for us to talk about it, but more importantly, it's time for you guys to ask questions. If you don't have questions right now, you can roll up to your DM. None of this will start until next Monday, so we have a week to kind of plan and prepare. We are looking to close out some of the goals in February still. Your DMs have gotten with you on that, so a little bit of work to do this week, but we do want to plan for the next period, March, April. Prior to doing that, though, we do have our weight class leaders. I won't spend a lot of time on this because this does go out every week, but just as a mention of importance, this is the final 5 days. You guys can kind of see where you're standing. The first prize winners in the total placements and in the placement growth percentage in each weight class will earn a cash payout. But which is kind of cool, the 2nd through 5 will go into a raffle for a Powerball of different prizes valued at about $500. So you can kind of see where the heavyweights stand. Right now it's Birdsong and Sparks leading the way. The middleweights, Bud and Sam, who just took over the lead this week. So nice job, Sam. 1 week to go to close out that challenge. And then the lightweight category, we have Dylan leading both. The 4th and 5th place finishers have to get up to the minimum of 50. We had 4 people between 44 and 48 placements. I sent out who those folks were. So please go after that, get to 50, get in the top 5, and then we'll announce the Powerball winners next week. But for now, let's go on to March, April. We're going to be focusing on an additive-free tequila movement that's been hot right now. So all of these brands that you're going to be seeing are all going to be additive-free, but each one of them is going to be uniquely different. So I'm going to talk about the first 2, one being Flecha Azul. So Flecha Azul, the important part of this, it is additive-free, but it's also celebrity-owned, which is kind of cool. It's the only brand that we're going to talk about today that has both of those going for itself. So on the left, you have Abraham Answer, who is a Mexican-American PGA golfer. He plays on the live side of the PGA forecast, but he also plays in the Masters and all the majors in the U.S. tournaments. And just a great sports celebrity outpost if you have accounts looking for that. The center one is my youngest son's favorite, who's Mark Wahlberg. Kind of know him from the Marky Mark days when back in the late 80s and early 90s. But he's done probably 100 movies since then, and really is the face for the brand. So Mark has done live tastings and live bottle signings here in Atlanta, and really just encompasses just a really good, solid movie star celebrity piece. And then Aaron Marquez on the right is an entrepreneur. He's wrote several books, has owned several companies and sold them, and is kind of like the business side of the 3. But in certain fields, he actually is his own celebrity in the sense that he's been very successful in the media and in the book signing world of things. So that's the 3 celebrity stars, but more importantly, what's the juice all about? To me, Flecha Azul is really a hidden gem in our portfolio. You guys have heard a lot of information and a lot of stuff coming from the management team on this. This is West Brands. They're pumping a ton of resources into the local market for this particular company, and their lead horse is Flecha Azul. So we have Emily Nolan, who is a local rep. The entire sales force for West Brands came over from Casamigos when Diageo finished their merger of that. So a lot of those folks left Diageo and kind of restarted and came over to West Brands. So if you don't know Emily, she's a great resource in the market. She spent several years at Empire. She's had other supplier jobs with Stoli, Bayou Rum, and then now previously Casamigos Tequila. She can be a great resource, and if you have accounts that are particular in need of resources or any sort of marketing opportunities, Flecha is a great line for it. This is going to be one of the few brands on the additive free that's going to have all 3 SKUs going for it. So we have the Blanco, which you can see there. I won't read the actual tasting notes, but key thing here is all the deals mix and match, so you can kind of see the frontline cost. With some volume deals, they get down to $32. Don't be scared of that 15 case retail deal. We've had several accounts do that. The Reposado is the next one. It's at 6 months, and ex-bourbon Oak casks, to me, it's probably the gem of it. At $5 more, it's just a really great tasting reposado. You can see all the new packaging, so the colors really pop on it. Great on-premise play to get a billboard effect, and also, increase those facings on the retail side if you have one or two. And then the añejo will be counting on pour. So if you get all three of these in, you'll get three placements out of it. This one's aged in ex-bourbon casks as well, 18 months. And it comes in the front line under 50 and on deals down to 48, 47, and to 45. One bottle on-premise placement gets you in, 3 bottles on the retail side. And like I said, all the volume deals mix and match. We're going to move on to Entre Manos. This is a particular favorite one of me and Jason. We actually found this brand when we were up in New York. To me, the taste profile on this really sets it strong. We kicked this brand off in October, kind of had a slow start to it. We took a big position on this. We've ordered 100 cases of this brand. Right now, it's the Blanco only. We will have a high proof that'll be coming later in the year, but for right now, this is kind of the lead dog. You can kind of see it's produced from the Salsa family at the Hacienda de Oro distillery. It is a lowlands tequila. I tend to be more of a Highlands fan myself, but when you taste this one, you really get a lot of those floral notes. You kind of see hints of mint, vegetal aspect, which is kind of consistent with lowland tequila. But it really comes through on the palate as well. So peppermint, vegetal notes, and then really come into that sweet agave flavor. For accounts that want something specialized and very unique and has some of the highest ratings with a lot of the tequila matchmakers and a lot of the blogs, Entre Manos is the play. You can kind of see from its packaging, it's one of a kind with the unique rope outlook and really just screams what true additive-free tequila is all about. So I'm going to turn it over to Jason now, who will kind of touch on the other ones.
Hey everybody, Jason Walton here. We're going to talk to you about Tequila Rejon to start. This is personally one of my favorite additive frees in the book, not only because of its quality, but its low price point. The Blanco here, we've got liters that can get down to 15 bucks. If you get a 3-case deal, they're 12 packs. But I mean, there is nothing in the market that comes even close to this additive free at this price point. So don't be worried to get in your on premise and lock down some wells in some of those accounts that really care about the quality of what they're pouring. Don't forget about the Reposado too. That is one of the best Reposados that I've tasted, and at $23 frontline, it's incredible. We also have the extra añejo over there that's 40 bucks. You're not going to see an extra añejo anywhere near that price point either. So quality of price point, hard to beat. Tequila Rejon. It's a small family producer. The importer really wanted to bring in a small additive-free product that bars could actually utilize on their menus. They're also at 88 proof, which is unique in the tequila world. So they're a little bit higher proof. That means when you shake it with ice in a margarita, the tequila's got a little more bite to it. So it kind of sticks around. And when you're drinking these kind of tequilas, you want to taste the tequila. And this one does not disappoint. All right, guys, so we've got Tierra de Ensueño. This means land of dreamers. The idea behind this was to incorporate some of the bourbon clientele into the market. And so what you've got is a Blanco tequila. So it's not aged in barrels, but it's actually just rested for 2 weeks. So it's not a Reposado, it's just still a Blanco, but rested for 14 days in extra rare wheated bourbon casks. I'm going to go ahead and say that those are Weller barrels. So everyone wants Weller. Everybody knows that Weller bourbon is the hot ticket item right now. So we actually have a tequila that can kind of slide into your customers that like bourbon. So what that does is adds a little bit of roundness to it, softens it, gives it a little bit of vanilla flavor, and again with no additives. It's also at NOM 1414. If you guys don't know what NOMs are, those are basically the distillery registry numbers. So if you go online and search NOM 1414 or whatever it is on the bottle, every bottle's got one on there. You can see where these things are made. In the additive free space, people really like to know where these tequilas are made and who's making them. So 1414 is very highly regarded. Sergio Cruz is the guy behind that. He's kind of a rock star in the tequila world right now. And master blender Oscar Vasquez Camarena from the Camarena family helps with his blend as well. And we have Chris Odendahl. If you guys have ever heard of Chris, he's active in the market. He used to work for us. He's out there pushing hard. So if you need a little extra boost, give him a shout.
Shelf tags into.
And
Shelf talkers.
Kirk's wants you to know that we have shelf talkers available as well. So get this out there. Adonacio. This is one of our most highly regarded additive-free distilleries. These come at a more premium price point, but that price point comes from the quality of what this distillery is doing. They are militant about their processes and their cleanliness and their passion for additive-free. They're so serious about not using pesticides that they make sure that their truckers completely clean their trucks before they ship their agave. They don't want any cross-contamination with pesticides from other facilities. The name comes from immortal. It's a Greek word. There was a gentleman, Tio Adonacio, that was a legend in the tequila business, lived to be 103. You'll see that on the bottles, that imagery, kind of harkening back to his roots. The guy in the blue shirt there is the master distiller, and his daughter's on the far left. She's kind of the face of the business. We've got several SKUs. I believe we're focusing on the Blanco and the Repo though for our Core 7, but you've got a few different marks there to show while you're at it. Those two in the middle are really nerdy if you got some accounts that are super excited with additive-free stuff, but your Blanco is going to be where everything's based off of 80 proof, classic Blanco style. These are very aggressive in their flavor profile, very agave forward. So you're gonna get a lot of vegetal flavors, a lot of herbs, and then the Reposado's very lightly oaked. So you're still gonna get a lot of that tequila flavor, but it's 3 months in American oak, just a little bit of roundness added to it. Very tannic, bright still, and delicious. These are, for your tequila nerds, these are top notch. People that try these that like tequila are always flabbergasted with the quality. Beautiful bottle too. You can see they've got that additive-free sticker on there. All right, 21 guys. We've had this brand for quite a while, and it's starting to catch fire. It's because it's also made at NOM 1414 by Sergio Cruz. We've got a silver and a Reposado, both beautifully made. We've also got great local support with Trevor. A lot of you know him. He has done wonders for the brand in the market. And if you need push getting this on menus, please call Trevor. He will get out there and make it happen for you, guaranteed every single time. And these bottles, they can be a bit polarizing, but I think they're really cool. They're all stainless steel, food grade stainless. They can be reused as water bottles. Some accounts love them. They go right in the well. That top little cap screws off so you can pop a pour spout in it. Great for taking to the beach, taking on a picnic, what have you. And they pop on a shelf. There's nothing that looks like this in a store. Turn it over.
Hey everybody, this is Kirk. I'm gonna cut it kind of short because we still got a little bit to go, but everybody knows cast stories and local representation out there. Ruben, if you have not met Ruben and worked with him, I suggest you give him a call because he is a trip. Great tequila. It is a workhorse for us. It's, you know, sought after all over the place. It's really picking up, coming back with some legs. Biggest thing I can say here is you're looking at a cheap bottle cost on all of them. I think they all would fit very well in the well, even the añejo. Great looking package. So definitely be pushing this in your restaurants. Get them in some different kinds of margaritas. Cinco de Mayo's coming up. Great time to get it out there. A lot of package stores already have it around those restaurants, so people's aware of it. But the ones aren't can taste it first and then go pick up a bottle from their local store.
Hey guys, it's Cheryl. So we have 4 espresso liqueurs I want to talk to you about quickly today. The last sheet that I have for you, if you guys want to take a screenshot of it, it kind of compares all the different aromas side by side for you to see. So when we get to that one, if you guys want to take a screenshot of that, so you can have that to use in the market. Starting with Cazadores. So this is going to be 100% with the Blanco tequila, and it's just simply that roasted coffee and agave. This is the lowest caffeine content. So in addition to utilizing this at your Mexican and Latino spots for their espresso martini, when you have those accounts that are still adamant about using fresh coffee or espresso in their martinis, this is a good one to use because that does have lower caffeine. So they can still utilize that. I know that's a lot of pushback people get with the caffeinated liqueurs on that. Borghetti is in the Fernet Branca family. This goes back to 1850. It was actually created to get the guys working on the railways boozed up, so they had a little energy and booze at the same time to work. This is gonna be one of our, I think, most espresso forward liqueurs that you can use. A little bit lower on the ABV than the Casadores, which sat at 33%. But this is one of the best-selling coffee liqueurs in Italy. Next is Voodoo, sorry. So we've had a big push on this. You know, we've got great market support. This is great for your high volume. It's 3 simple ingredients, as I have listed over there. It's cathead vodka, coffee, and demerara sugar. You guys, people have been getting pushback on the cost of this, but if you break it down, it's $3.48 a cocktail on bottle 1. That obviously is going to go down on 6 bottles. So utilize that for your high volume. It's the only thing you have to use. It's simple, it's quick, and it's delicious. And last is Luxardo, which is also an old brand from Italy, family owned. This is going to be sweetened with a spirit made out of sugar beets. It is a little bit lower in price point than your Borghetti. So if you want somebody that's looking for a true traditional Italian liqueur, but the Borghetti price is a little bit too high for them, then this is good. To sub in for that. And then again, there's that last sheet that has all that information side by side for you guys that you can screenshot or print out at your desire.
And it is also sorted in the drive, which you have access to.
And look at that caffeine content on Luxardo is crazy.
That is a lot.
That's scary.
Yes, please.
No, that's a very high amount.
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
confirm it with people because I was like, there's no way.
That's like 3 cups of coffee.
Yeah, that's strong. A cup of coffee is about 80 mils, so that'll get you going with one of those. Keep that in mind for the high caffeine folks.
Fair
All right,
point.
thank you, Spirits
Thanks,
team. I'm
guys.
gonna stop your screen, and then we are ready for Joanna and the beer team to take over their section. Joanna, do you have yours ready to share?
I do. I can just share that.
Yes, you can.
Type 1 sec.
Joanna needs a haircut.
Who needs a haircut, Kirk? Me?
No, I said Joanna, the picture popped up and it wasn't her. A lot of hair out there.
All right, Joanna, we're ready for you. Yeah, put it in presentation mode if you don't mind, and then good to go. If that's PowerPoint, the hotkey is F5. No? All right. You also muted yourself.
All right, guys, I'm actually going to go ahead and start for the Core 7 large format beers. As we all know, that is what is on in March and April. So Joanna, go to the next slide. Nope, there you go. All right, so really quickly, I just wanted to just show y'all kind of why the reason we chose large formats and which ones we chose. When we looked at beer as a whole last year, beer was down. A lot of that was the 6-packs, 12-packs, where the large formats were up 5.3%. And those numbers are just from here in Georgia alone. A lot of that being driven by your C-store, your convenience, and then up ordering, meaning they're going into the liquor store to go buy the Casadores, and then they're also grabbing a Victory Golden Monkey 19.2. So it's an add-on purchase. So breweries have actually started to increase how many 19.2 formats there are just to meet the demand for that. Now, what is selling? Not everything in that 19.2 format. It's either going to be your high ABV, cheap options. And when I mean cheap, we're looking at that $1.99 section, or where people are seeing those 2 for $3.99 or 2 for $4.99. Your well-known breweries, and then that seltzer F&B category. So when we decide what to choose, here's how we kind of broke it down. The well-known brands, your Tropicalia, Founders Mortal Bloom, Cigar City Highlight, and Famosa. Now, when we're looking at the high ABV, anything that's above that 8% is what we're considering high ABV. So we put in Flash Cat. It is a new introduction for Creature, with it being that high ABV, we're having a lot of bets on that one. And then of course our Golden Monkeys and our Sour Monkeys, those are two top sellings within the C-store format. And the new packaging looks really clutch on that shelf. Seltzer, again, another one that's new with Creature is Sip 'em Seltzer. We are going to continue doing that, but right now for this, we're just doing the highlight because we wanted to make sure we were doing the well-known portion with it. Just to let you know, Nicholas. So then when we're looking at the cheaper options, we chose Classic City coming in around that $2.49 for a can. And then we have Outlaw, which is going to be your 24 ounce. All right, so let's go to the next page. I wanted to put on here just a breakdown of what we're wanting to see at the suggested retail. Some people don't know how to price the individual can, so I went ahead and made it easy for you. As you can see, $2.99 is typically where we're sitting at, except for the ones that are going to be your cheaper ones. There may be a 20-30 cent difference, but for the most part, this is how you do it. Now, if you're looking at doing your two first, that $2.49 sweet spot is where you're going to be getting to have your 2 for $4s. And then we do have POS in the GSM room that can go on any of the suction cups. We also have additional suction cups that are at the very end of the beer aisle up top in boxes. We're actually working on getting the gliders. I know Mike and Charles and I have been talking to get some of these because we know it's a huge ask from accounts. One thing to note with the gliders, with Famosa and with Outlaw, they are not going to fit in the 19.2 section. You have to have them in a separate area. With the 19.2s, I would have to find out that answer, David. I believe we have it. I know that your area has a whole different law on it, but for the most part, everybody can sell 19.2s. I think it's just it can't be broken up in 4-packs. It has to be the full case. If that's what you're questioning, David. And then also for some of the other items that are used for the 19.2s are strips. If you need additional strips, and when I mean strips are not just the ones that are going to go on the shelves, but on the suction cup, we have individual ones for our brands as well. And if y'all have any questions or needs, where Patrick was saying, all of these sell sheets are in those areas. And then I will let Gordon talk about the next few items.
Nice. Thanks, Jessica. Hey, everybody, this is Gordon Jones. So we're going to get into a little Noka and, more importantly, Alcolo, which is the newest product from Noka. So this first slide right here just kind of points out the whole Two-Turnt Tony family. We've got 5 different products, a total of 7 different SKUs if you include the 24-ounce cans. Alcolo on the far right, this is going to be a huge objective for us coming into March and April. You can go ahead and move on to that next slide. So Alcolo, I want to talk about. So their social media influencer, his name's Cody, aka Whistling Diesel. The guy's got a huge following. He's based out of Nashville, Tennessee. You could see 2.5 billion lifetime views. Apparently, this guy's only made, well, he's made about 120 videos. But after 72 hours, he's got 3 million likes. He gets about 5,000 subscribers a day. So this is his product. This is what we're going to be marketing with him. He is coming to Georgia to make some visits. And this product is also going to be into Walmart's. We've got a good bit going into the spring sets, as well as all Publix. So something to note there. 8% alcohol, 160 calories. I've heard the taste profile is like a Red Bull vodka, or maybe like a Skittles, candy kind of profile. I pulled lots of samples today, set them out in the GSM room of all products. Next slide. All right, so take note of your PTC's price to consumer. This is what we want to see on the shelf. Alcolo is definitely an elevated product, so you'll see that is going to be the most expensive 8-pack out of their portfolio. I will say there is a new 10-case QD in place. You can mix and match all of these products in that 10-case deal. So you maybe take a screenshot of this, so when you're talking to your retailers, this is at case 1, so they might be a little less, they might be a little more depending on their margins. Next slide. And the last slide's POS. So I've been working with Jeff, that's our local supplier, to get some standees ordered for Alcolo. Those are going to be arriving any day. I've got rebates for all products, including the tea, the lemonade, the 8% 24-ounce cans, Alcolo, the sticker packs, displays, buckets, inflatable cans. All those are already in the GSM room right now. And that's basically it.
Cool. You guys got a Sunboy one as well?
We sure do. That's going to be me. Hey guys, this is Joanna. I'm going to talk about Sunboy real quick, kind of rounding out the mini products that we're focusing on from the beer world during this course 7. So this is going to be a really great one leading into the summer. Sunboy has just continued to grow for us here. It's really kind of like an RTD in, you know, the cocktail-y type of flavor profile, but it can be sold in beer and wine stores and convenience and things like that because of its alcohol being derived from sugarcane and not liquor. So just a basic slide here. Single flavor 4-packs. The MSRP is at $9.99, just for your reference. We do have a little bit of a shift in our flavor lineup for those single flavors. So we have pineapple and passion fruit, which we've had as a single flavor for forever, but we are trading out the tangerine with a new coconut flavor. I'm pretty excited about this coconut flavor just for the kind of the sidecar or, you know, Boilermaker type of situation. I think pairing this with Plantaray pineapple in an on-premise account would be a delicious option among a bunch of other stuff that you could do with that one. So welcome coconut to the family, and I'll talk about the new variety packs on the next page. Guys, this is, you know, the hydration is there. Everything that you see on the left hand of this slide is the perfect verbiage for selling this in. These are really delicious, really hydrating, and perfect for when the weather starts getting warm. All right, so here's the variety packs. On the right-hand side, you're gonna see our classic variety pack that we've had pretty much since the beginning. We're gonna stick with those flavors, which is passion fruit, mango, pineapple, and tangerine. So while the tangerine did get discontinued in the single flavor, it's still included in the variety pack. It is delicious, but we think that the coconut is just gonna move a little bit faster than that tangerine maybe did. And then on the left-hand side, you're going to see the new coconut refresher pack. So the refresher pack has all new flavors other than the pineapple. So, you know, we're kind of keeping that #1 flavor pineapple visible in 3 different packs. You see it single flavor, classic variety, and refresher pack. But we're testing out some other flavors as well. So peach, coconut, which is new, and then a guava. So you are going to have 2 separate variety packs, just, you know, one says classic, one says refresher in Encompass. So just make sure you're billing the right one. The MSRP on those are $18.99, and those are 8 packs. So you're getting quite a deal on that. As far as POS goes, we have a ton of posters in the POS room along with some buckets as well. If you need anything, we should have a local rep coming up pretty soon. But please reach out to me and I can direct you to the team. They have a lot of really great stuff. They're very active in the market. And we want to make sure that we do make a big splash with this as we kind of go into that perfect season for this. Lastly, just wanted to touch on a few overlapping incentives. You can see the Alcolo and Noka incentive here. This is going to be a pretty big one because we're launching this product, Alcolo with Whistling Diesel. So you're going to see a lot of market blitzes, a lot of social media things, and on top of that, a lot of dollars to be had. So definitely take advantage of this one. The fact that it overlaps with this Core 7 focus is absolutely clutch, and we want you guys to take all the monies. And then lastly, we have the Founders 19.2 that's included in a Founders incentive that's going on as well. That's all I've got for me.
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, beer team. Thanks for staying on time. Both spirits and beer have been nicely on time so far. Very well done. All right, I need a Kate White and a Scott Miller. We are ready for the Highway 12 presentation if you guys are ready.
Hey, I am absolutely ready.
Sounds good. God, you guys are such an improvement on our average supplier. It's incredible. I'll edit this part out. I'll edit this part out.
Guilfoyle, does that answer the question of, am I sharing my screen?
Yes, you are.
Perfect. Excellent. Hello, everyone. I'm Kate, and I'm going to share some information with you today about Highway 12, our March and April Core 7 wine focus. If you get to look at your screen during this presentation and you're not driving, I started this out with a very appropriate picture. I have some of the employees right here in their trucks in the beautiful Sonoma County. This is exactly as laid back as Highway 12 is. So we're gonna launch in from there. All right, so let's take a quick glance at Highway 12. I think it's really important to know that this is a winery that is friendly operated. Why do we mention this? Because if you've been selling wine, potentially from the US, there are a lot of large corporate wineries that really have no personality. And then it's also a really nice counter to a lot of European wines we sell, where the story of 8 generations and 400 years old kind of gets old after a while. So this is 2 friends who started this operation. Their mission was to take and preserve the classic style of Sonoma wine. The whole idea, why they came to this is that they were in Sonoma, and in the early aughts, there were a lot of corporations coming in to buy family farms. And these guys were really sensitive to what was ultimately happening, the movement that these corporations were driving their beloved Sonoma wines. So what they did, fearing and in pure disgust of what could happen with these corporations buying Sonoma wineries and making this homogeneous, gross juice, they decided essentially to become a modern day negociant, where they used their relationships and high-end friends with really nice vineyards to get their grapes and make legitimately delicious wine that would reflect the Sonoma style. So they have been in business for 20 years and very successfully getting that done. The next little note here is to remind you, maybe drive home a point that I just made, and that is Highway 12 is an actual winery. They have real, long-term, healthy vineyard sources and relationships to keep producing good juice. I think it's very important to know where the Highway 12 name came from. It's definitely a cornerstone of how these guys operate. And Highway 12 is the iconic highway that moves through California's wine country. It starts in Sebastopol and then moves all the way to Lodi, and definitely covers a whole lot of ground within Sonoma. And then lastly, back to the opening photo, Highway 12 is not stuffy. So when we go out selling this wine, I want people to realize how approachable the people who make this wine are, and that is reflected in their wine. It's excellent wine. It is flawless. It's no need to be on airs. This is the type of winery that wants you to roll up in jeans and just really enjoy their quality wine. All right, so why Highway 12? Here are some things that we should offer our customers. It's approachable, especially in its domesticity. Americans are still buying American wine. They're very comfortable with California wine. So this is not some obscure, I don't know, Austrian Zweitgelt that we're dealing with here for the next 2 months. This is something that everyone's familiar with. So don't be scared. And in the same way that your accounts should be very easy being pitched this wine, their customers should too. Highway 12 also has incredibly approachable price points. When we start looking at the multiple tiers of Highway 12, everything is very affordable. So on the very, very low end, the Highway 12 entry-level wines on a 36-bottle deal get down to $10 a bottle tax in. That's absolutely spectacular. And then at the very other end of the spectrum, the worst case scenario as far as pricing is concerned is that the front line on their reserve bottle is $24, which is still very affordable for what you get. And speaking of affordable for what you get, I think that these wines deliver an incredible value. I was speaking to Mark Weber today, the local rep, and he really enjoys pointing out and has a lot of success selling Highway 12 in the capacity that if you try these Highway 12 wines, even the entry-level wines, against other wines in the same price point, it's going to blow them out of the water. They have character and they're of higher quality, and even a novice wine drinker will be able to tell that. So if you're out in the market, feel free to do a Pepsi challenge with your accounts. If you've got the Cabernet out, have them pour their BTG Cabernet right next to it. See what they think. I think you're going to come out on top. And then lastly, I want to point out what a dynamic portfolio Highway 12 is. You know, a lot of times we'll have core sevens and, you know, so maybe those products are a little more geared towards off or on-prem. It skews one way or another. I think this is a great opportunity for us as a company to really blanket all accounts. I mean, Highway 12 may not be perfect for every account, but it definitely is a very, it's a dynamic wine lineup. And I think you'll find that it fits into a lot of places. So pricing is great for on-premise. And then for off-prem, this is very stackable, and you could easily get with as many selections as we have. A 5-case stacker, and really great end caps. All right, moving on. All right, what of Highway 12 is on the focus? This is an easy one, as opposed to Core 7's past, where we might have a selection of one label. This is absolutely all of it. So here we go. That's them. Everything you find with Highway 12 is in the mix. Let me do a quick breakdown for you of the different tiers of Highway 12. So on the entry level, there is the Sonoma series, anything that just starts Highway 12. And then those at a front line are around $13. And like I said before, we'll get down to 10 on a deal. And then there's one level up. We have 2 items that start with Carneros Highway in the title, the Chard and the Pinot Noir. This is a really important note that you won't necessarily find on their website about the Carneros Highway line. The founders of Highway 12, one of them went to grade school with one of the children of the San Giacomo family. It's a very famous estate. Scott and I were just looking at their website today, and their wines, even their Sauvignon Blanc, which is typically a better price for California wine shoppers, even their Sauvignon Blanc is a $45 bottle of wine. So we are getting the same fruit from the San Giacomo vineyards for these, all because one of the founders of Highway 12 went to grade school and is buddy-buddy with one of the San Giacomo family members. Not bad. So when you pay a little more for the Carneros Highway, keep in mind that that is an exceptional value. Usually wines out of this region and these vineyards cost significantly more. And then at the very top end, there are two wines. It's the Highwayman Blend and then the Reserve. These are a higher tier, mostly because they're investment into the wines. No surprise, you need to buy a little nicer oak. You need to sit on them a little while longer to create the full, rich flavor profile that they were going for. So that's the top end of Highway 12. All right, we're going to take a quick little break and from rote facts, and I want to give everybody just an idea of how good these wines are. Many of you know some California wine history, that the movie Sideways very much brought up a very good point about the falling quality of California Merlot and very much ruined an industry because of it. So there are a lot of California Merlots that are really just disgusting. And they have, just like Paul Giamatti pointed out in Sideways, really terrible structure. They're overly ripe, they're overly alcoholic. And in the end, they're a very poorly balanced, unsavory wine. And the point I want to make here is that if you take out the entry-level Highway 12 Merlot, it is flying in the face of what a lot of people have come to believe that California Merlot is. So I encourage you, if nothing else, to take it out. It shows beautiful structure. It is varietally correct, lovely blue and black fruit flavors. The oaking is absolutely on point, and you can get a wine like this for only $10. So if that is a good baseline of the quality of Highway 12, and I believe that it is, this wine line has so much going for it. The Merlot and the Cabernet, both in any given year, could be 90 points or more from Wine Enthusiast, and they deserve every little bit of that. It's even a Merlot, and all of my snobbiness I would be happy to take home. All right, thanks for hearing my diatribe. Let me tell you about the sales material that's available. Patrick, thanks so much for organizing that folder. I have drug all sorts of PDFs into it. One that you might find most handy is a pre-made 750 sheet. I have strategically put just the frontline prices on here. That way you guys get to play it to your accounts, how that pricing works, make it a little more interactive. And then you'll find a quick one-pager on Highway 12. Essentially, it's what I've gone over in this slideshow, but in a little more polished professional terms. Strategically on one paper. It should be easy for you guys to use as a reference when you go out into the market. And then I think this is really nice. The Highway 12 guys put together for us some server cheat sheets. What you see here on the presentation is an excerpt of one of them. This long, narrow bit, they put 3 on one 8.5 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 page, such that when you print them out and then cut them, they fold perfectly or fit perfectly into a server's classic notebook. So definitely utilize these. I certainly know that when I was managing restaurants, I would love to have had these for every single one of my servers. So these are on the drive as well. There are only 2 of the selections that don't have the server cheat sheet. It's the Reserve and the Highwayman Blend. But those are not typically a BTG offering. So the ones that are lower in price are available. I will move on. Hey, there is a local supplier here. A lot of you have had some market time with Mark Weber. Excellent guy, really laid back, and certainly very knowledgeable. Give him a little lead time, but he is happy to help you. And I would trust this guy to walk into an account on his own, very well put together. So if you want some help, have some questions, have maybe even a mission for him to run in your favor, I recommend reaching out. Right. Yes, there is an incentive associated with this Course 7. So for March and April, you can make a little extra money. All of the SKUs count. If you sell 5 cases or more, after that, it's $5 a case. 10 cases or more, you get $10 a case. This is cumulative for the time frame. And then we've got a little bonus. These wines are so good and very capable of being on display. that we will give you $50 for every picture you send us of a 5-case display. That is the story. That's it.
Very good, Kate. Thank you.
Thank
Does
you.
anybody have any questions? We can take a few minutes to chat real quick if we'd like and ask our category managers or, whatever.
Alan Faulkner, thanks for your thumbs up on Highway 12 quality.
Yeah, you mentioned it, but I think Highway 12 was our most on-premise relevant Core 7 wine so far.
I agree with you, Patrick.
Thank you. Most of our Core 7 sales have been going off-premise with wine. This would be an awesome period to see, especially going into the spring and summer when people rewrite a lot of their menus to go for their spring and summer menus, is a perfect time and a perfect incentive and a perfect wine choice to really make on-premise placements. And those good on-premise placements absolutely pump sales. How many wine bottles does it take for a placement? That's a good question.
I think they've got it set at 3.
I believe it is 3.
Yep. And I also enjoy Mac Allen's little testimony here. He was working with Mark from Highway 12 last week. Lots of placements made. And Mac, I will check for you, but I think you're going to have to work on some resale there, buddy, that your PODs will not count towards Core 7. I'm sorry, buddy.
Have OP looking for Italian. Would you agree that Highway 12 is great for sampling? Unfortunately, it's relevant regardless, but if people are looking for Italian, let's pull Italian. We have an excellent Italian book.
It's true.
California wines generally aren't going to fit for people that want French and Italian wine. Those are stylistically usually very different.
Agreed. All right. Anything else?
Anything for spirits team or beer team while we're here? Once again, I will upload this VOD. It'll probably be done tonight. I'll edit it. I'll share it tomorrow. You could rewatch. If you loved it so much, you can rewatch it. If you had to miss a portion of it because you were still in your route, of course, it's 4:00 on a Monday. That's certainly an option. It's certainly many of you were likely still in your routes when we started this. It's available for you, so you can continue watching. And I hope you like the additional training. It'll be consistent. We'll do this probably the Monday before a new Core 7 period in this format at this time from now on. So, yeah. Additive free sales sheet. Do you mean specifically you need pricing or you need portfolio? Be specific, Mike. Because they are all on the drive.
Just on the tequila, like general, like a one sheeter that you can use to show all the additive free options we have.
There might be a one sheeter. Hold on. I'll look. It sounds like something Chris would have made before he left. Or it's like a whole tequila sheet. There's a whole tequila sheet. It's not specifically. So each brand has its own individual sheets. It's a little difficult to amalgamate everything into one Core 7 sheet, though it's not a terrible option. It's just, it feels to me like if we did that, it would be a bit like, hey guys, here's everything I need to sell this month. What can you help me out with? There is an additive free tequila one sheeter. Let's reshare that with me because I don't see it in I don't know if I ever sorted it. I see a tequila sales sheet, but it definitely has all of our brands. All right. Kelsey's going to send it. I will put it in the one sheeters category. It won't be sorted to Core 7 because it's not specific to these brands. Cool. All right. It's 4:50. We'll call it. I hope you enjoyed the training. Look for the VOD. See you soon.